Today in the Forge in Roblox, I'm going to show you how to make the best weapon in the game. Something even better than this Demonite cutlass that I'm wearing. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel, and let's get into the video. So what am I talking about? How can I make something even better than this weapon that I'm carrying right now? Well, it's because a cutlass is still not the best straight sword you can possibly get. Now to craft this thing, we're gonna have to move over to World 2, because if you try to craft something like this in World 1, it's not going to work. Take a look. If we head on down to the straight swords, as you can see, the straight sword you're looking for, something like a chaos sword or even a rapier, do not exist. And even if you were crafting something like the katana, you don't get the best one. Or the gauntlets, you don't get the best one. Or the demon slayer, the amazing two-handed colossal sword, you don't get the best one. Those options only show up in World 2, so make sure you go to World 2 if you're going to do any endgame crafting in this game, well, before the new update comes out around Christmas. Now to craft this weapon, you're going to need a lot of endgame materials, and I happen to have them on me, so by the end of this video, I'm actually going to make another attempt at an endgame weapon here for you. Hopefully we get lucky, but let me show you how to farm them efficiently. First things first, you're going to want to have a race that can help you with farming. The two best races for this are Dwarf or Angel. Angel for luck, Dwarf for mining efficiency. I'm going to choose Angel for luck bonus and mobility. Then we're going to head up to the cave and get farming down in the lava zone, which is located up the ramp to the right. Once you make it up here, hang a right and go down below where all these people are mining. Excuse me, coming through. In here, you are obviously looking for lava rocks, and lava rocks are what has the endgame material that you need. Now, depending on what you want to craft, you're going to need a certain number of endgame materials, either Darkryte or Demonite and other materials. Me, I'm trying to craft straight swords because I really want a chaos sword, which is a 1 in 16 chance. I know the odds are against me, but I want to try. To farm efficiently, you're going to want to try and find a nice quiet corner in this place and spawn in the rocks you're looking for. A good way to do that is to clear all the rocks you don't want to give them a chance to respawn. This is actually critical, and I don't see enough people doing this. I see people server hopping over and over looking for rocks when they can simply clear away all the rocks they don't need, getting a little bit of materials and experience while you're doing it, and this will allow you to have a little corner all to yourself filled with the lava rocks you're looking for. Don't forget to drink your potions. You can have luck potions up to an hour. Oh, what do you know? And miner's potions up to 15 minutes. Once your lava rocks start to spawn, you want to mine them down to about 2200 HP. You can mine them lower if you wish, but I find that often unnecessary. Once you get them down to 2200 HP, you can see the contents of the rock. This one has obsidian, which is a common armor ingredient, but not what I'm looking for. And if you want, you can mine them down even further to 1200 HP, exposing it even further to absolutely guarantee that you're not missing anything. From there, you want to gather multiple of these rocks. So I'm clearing away all of this stuff to give myself a lovely little corner here to farm these rocks. Now, you're obviously looking for specific ingredients. You're looking for Demonite, and you're especially looking for Darkryte. Sometimes it can be difficult to discern them amongst these rocks, but do your best. You'll practice and get really good at it. Darkryte will look like a black glowing lump of coal. A little bit difficult to discern, but once you get used to seeing it, you can never unsee it. And Demonite is this bright red crystal with no stone bottom. If you see a stone bottom, that is Revelite. You don't need it. Get used to being down in the zone and get used to be mining these rocks. You're going to be doing this quite a lot. And you're going to get very used to seeing these coal-like structures that you might think is Demonite or Darkryte, but it's not. If you see these sharp rectangular angles, this is not the ore you're looking for. Now that I've shown you where to mine, let's talk about the different recipes you can choose to craft your endgame weapon. In all honesty, what weapon you choose to craft will depend on what materials you acquire. Sometimes you'll have more Demonite, sometimes you'll have more Darkryte. It just depends on your farming efficiency. Having said that, you can make fantastic weapons with either of them. If you're looking to make a katana, these are the recipes you're looking for. At mid-game, you can make katanas out of ore and Riverlight, which are much more common, but towards endgame, you're starting to use Demonite and then a boatload of Darkryte, sometimes even including Demonite. Now, personally, I'm interested in explosion builds. I love weapons with explosion because when it triggers, oh, it's a ton of damage, so definitely keep an eye open for those. I will have a link to the spreadsheet in the description. Now, anytime you look at a recipe, if it's using a bunch of magmate, you're gonna have an exploding weapon. And depending on the amount of magmate, you're going to get different exploding amounts. Some recipes will only give you 34% of AoE damage. Some recipes will give you 50% of AoE damage. So make sure you read the chart as best as you can to know which weapon you want to craft. There are also gauntlet recipes for those of you interested, from mid-game all the way to absolutely insane. And there are colossal sword recipes as well. However, the colossal sword recipes require an abundant amount of Darkryte and Demonite to get endgame builds. Now, why would I mention two-handed swords and great swords and colossal swords? Well, because their DPS is actually quite good. And this chart right here will show you what I mean. This is the straight sword category. As you can see, the bottom 3 rarest straight swords, the cutlass, the rapier, and the chaos sword, have among the best DPS in the game. But take a look all the way down here at the colossal sword section, not including the large spoon at the bottom that you don't craft because it's only located in World 1. When you craft a colossal sword, you get phenomenal two-handed DPS weapons, including the best weapon in the game, the Dragon Slayer, that has the best DPS overall. And for those of you interested in katana, the katana is an all-around solid weapon with DPS that is very solid, and you can never go wrong crafting katanas. But I'm a gambling kind of man. I've already crafted 3 endgame straight swords. The first 2 were falchions, which are actually horrendously bad, but my second one was this cutlass, which is quite good. As you can see, when you craft a straight sword, you have a chance to craft a falchion, which is the most common straight sword in the game, and its DPS is absolutely abysmal. It is horrible. So whenever you craft straight swords, you don't want to craft the most common one. You want to craft one of the 3 rare ones, the cutlass, the rapier, or especially the chaos. So we're looking for an upgrade. We're looking for either a rapier or a chaos. And this has me terrified. But you know what? That's what you do before we have the update come out around Christmas to give us new weapons, new armor, new aura, new zones. So this will be attempt number 4 of crafting the chaos sword. And this time, I'm using Darkryte. Every other attempt, I had a bunch of Demonite lying around and I crafted Demonite swords, which are really good. But this time I happened to have a lot of Darkryte, and I was thinking about holding on to it for the next expansion, the next world, but no, I'm gonna craft it here for you. So let's take the time and pick our recipe. I can technically craft probably the best weapon recipe in the game, which is 5 Darkryte and 2 Magmite. But the problem with that is that its AoE explosion damage is technically not perfect. Even though it provides 1 more damage for an entire Darkryte, that seems like a horrible deal. So the recipe I'm gonna go for is 4 Darkryte, 2 Magmate, and I hope this works. This will also give me the greatest chance of crafting a straight sword and not something else. Let's go and shove the ingredients into the forge, shall we? This is, I'm scared. I really don't want to mess this up. If I don't get a straight sword, if I get a falchion, it's gonna be horrible. 4 Darkryte, 2, but make sure you're on weapons. I've one time crafted an armor, make sure you're on weapons. 2 Magmate, which is located, where's my Magmate? There it is, 1, 2. Oh man, I have an 86% chance to craft a great sword, but a 14% chance to craft a dagger. Can you imagine if I craft a dagger? I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. If I craft a straight sword and I craft a falchion, we lose. If I craft a cutlass, it might be a slight upgrade. If I craft a rapier or a chaos sword, it is a big upgrade. All right, 4 Darkryte, 2 Magmate. Here we go. Hit the forge button. This is a bad idea. I'm nervous. Okay, click it. Not a dagger, not a dagger. That's not a dagger. I don't think it's a rapier. I think it's a falchion. 1, 2, 3. It's a falchion! No! My 5th attempt at crafting a chaos sword has come to a failure. And I'll show you just how much worse this falchion is compared to my cutlass. The cutlass is using Demonite. The falchion is using Darkryte. Man, it looks cool! But its base damage is only 88 damage. You see that? This is why the falchion in crafting straight swords is so risky. 88 base damage. Let's compare that to my current cutlass using Demonite and not Darkryte. While the swing speed on the Darkryte falchion is slightly better, the damage is a good chunk worse. 88 damage versus 100 damage base. And using a simple calculator for the math, the 100 damage cutlass at 0.66 swings a second has more DPS than the 88 that swings faster. And by more DPS, I mean barely more, just slightly more DPS, but more is more. And one thing that DPS calculation does not take into account is the Chaos Sword's ability to explode. Explosion is based off of your weapon damage, and the cutlass that has a higher weapon damage will have a more powerful explosion. So I will not be using this Darkryte falchion even though it looks fantastic. Instead, I will continue to use the slightly slower and higher DPS overall cutlass with an even better explosion because it's just better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you've learned how to craft endgame swords and how difficult and painful it might be. I think for the next time I do this, I might try crafting a two-hander, which will require a bunch of farming. If this video was useful to you, go ahead and hit subscribe as a thank you. Become part of the first 200k OGs on my channel. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is 45 Demonite, and with it I'm going to show you how to craft some of the best endgame armor you've ever seen in the Forge. Now I can obviously use my 12 Darkryte in those recipes, but I'm going to save that for a future video. And there are multiple ways we can build this Demonite armor set. We can go heavy on the mithril for lots of extra armor and HP. We can go heavy on ore for bonus weapon damage. We could include one piece with some uranium for that sweet AoE damage, and we could even stack obsidian for more HP. We'll discuss that right after I show you exactly how I farmed up so much Demonite. First things first, if you're not on a private server, you're gonna have a hard time doing something like this. If you're in public servers, just do your best to mine as many of these things as you can. But if you're like me and you have a private server, let me show you how best to farm. Believe me, you're definitely gonna want to see this. You're definitely gonna want this information. Head on down to your lava zone and let me show you what's going on. Ooh, you also might be wondering why I'm choosing to make some Demonite armor. Well, you see this skeleton killing himself as he attacks me? I'm really lazy. I mean obscenely lazy, and the last thing I want to do is have to fight the mobs while I'm farming. I just kind of want my armor to do the job for me. So Demonite, with our choices, is going to do that perfectly. Now I've already prepared the zone and got the zone ready for my favorite farming method. See all these little rocks here, all these extra useless rocks? I like to clear them out and kind of herd all the rocks into one area. Do you see all the lava rocks over there? Way over there. I'm talking like all of those ones, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Yeah, we're gonna get involved. Let's start drinking our potions, and I'm gonna show you what I've done. While farming in the Forge in Roblox, the thing you want to do most is get multiple volcanic rocks in one area, allowing you to strike more than one at a time. And the more groupings you can get closer together, the better. And what you want to do is farm the rocks down to 2200 HP, take a peek, and then leave. And go and farm another pair. And the best part is, your armor does the killing for you, you get to keep on swinging, and if you are quick enough at this, you can farm 2 to 3 pairs at a time. Nothing in that one. Let me head over to this pair and start mining this one. This is why you go around your basement, destroy all the useless rocks, and herd all the rocks into one area, allowing you to stack multiple sets of pairs to get... Well, hold on, back. False alarm. Stack multiple pairs together, increasing the speed with which you can farm volcanic rocks. Let me say something. If you are mining the rocks all the way down, you're doing it wrong. You need to mine them down to 2200 HP, allowing you to take a peek at what's inside so you can decide whether you see any Demonite or any Darkryte. Again, this is only going to work on a private server because other people will come here and ruin your day, preventing you from herding all these rocks into this area. But this is how you're going to farm all the ore you need to make some endgame armor. Now that I've demonstrated that and demonstrated why I'm making the armor that I'm making, especially with the whole, enemies killing themselves as they attack me, let's continue on and talk about the armor. As of right now, I'm using a mithril base set with absolutely no mythic ore involved. And this mithril armor with absolutely no mythics is giving me a boost of 60% health per piece. And that is because mithril ore provides an HP boost and obsidian ore provides an HP boost. Like I said, my helmet gives me 64% HP and my chestplate gives me just under 60% HP. And this uranium passive deals 5% of my HP to everything around me every single second. That uranium passive puts in a lot of work, making me pretty much kill everything around me and ignore everything while I mine. So I really want to keep that concept and actually improve upon it as we enter into World 3. Because as we all know, World 3 is coming doing in Christmas time. So why am I choosing Demonite over Darkryte? Well, one, I have a lot more Demonite, and two, it provides burn damage to anything that touches you. And that burn damage is upwards of 25% each. Now this is where a decision has to be made. These end game and late game and insane recipes do not have uranium involved. And they're also asking for eye ore, which increases your weapon damage but does nothing about boosting your HP. So I need to make a sacrifice. Do I maximize my HP, making uranium do as much damage as possible, or do I continue to have really good weapon damage? And this calculator right here will demonstrate that problem. This is the eye ore recipe that it's suggesting. 14 Darkryte, 11 mithril for HP, and 11 eye ore for damage. And as you can see, it gives you the maximum of each because you're within the 30-30 rule. The recipe is 38% Demonite ore, 30% mithril ore, and 30% eye ore, and you receive the maximum benefits: 25% reflect, 15% extra defense, which is technically HP, and 50% weapon damage. The problem with this recipe is that it gives you a tiny chance for a medium chest plate, and I don't like that tiny chance. So all you have to do is add another Demonite ore, another mithril ore, and another eye ore. Do that one more time, and by the time you're up to 16, 13, and 13, you no longer have the 1% chance of a medium chest plate and actually get a 78% chance of your heavy chest plate. Yes, it will cost me 2 more Demonite per attempt, but I like not having the chance at a medium chest plate, which is a complete and utter waste. Now pay attention to this. The multiplier for all of this is a 4.42. That means your base defense, your base armor is get up to that high. You can multiply that high. But what happens if I don't want to do eye ore and I want to do obsidian for more HP? We come in here and we remove all the eye ore, remember that 4.42, and instead we add the much weaker obsidian. And while we do get that extra 30% HP, which is insane, the 4.42 drops to a 3.91. Is a 3.91 multiplier going to make a piece of armor better than what I'm wearing? Oh yeah, it is definitely better. For example, my mithril chestplate has a base defense of 166, which was this recipe right here, which only gave me a multiplier of 3.3, which is way less than that 3.9. So I will definitely be acquiring more armor doing it this way, but I'll be losing the weapon damage. Because while this recipe is giving me the same boatload of HP, I'm basically exchanging 25% reflect burn for weapon damage. And that's what makes mining and crafting in this game so difficult. Every time you want to add something to your armor, a feature, a use, you sacrifice something else and it makes other things go away. Do I want weapon damage? Do I want reflect? What do I want to do? I could follow this recipe exactly and lose so much bonus HP with absolutely no uranium. Ultimately, I think I know what we're going to do. With runes, I am capable of stacking additional HP. For example, each rune can give me 9% or 10% additional HP. But my runes cannot give me weapon damage on my armor. That can only be done with eye ore while crafting. So we are going to do the Demonite Mithril eye ore craft, except I still want uranium. So I will remove 8 mithril and add 8 uranium. Adding the 8 uranium will allow me to have the 5% max AoE as damage. All right, time to get crafting now that I've decided. The first thing you want to do is make sure you are clicked on armor, and you also want to make sure you are doing this in World 2. If you do not craft this in World 2, you will not have a chance at Darkryte armor. What I'm wearing right now is Darkryte armor. This is even better than regular armor. It's a 1 in 2 chance, a 50-50 chance of crafting Darkryte armor. Let's get to work. We are clicked on armor. If we follow the recipe for the chestplate suggested perfectly, we will have that 1% chance of a medium chestplate and only a 64% chance of a heavy chestplate. So we will be adding 2 Demonite, 2 mithril, and 2 eye ore, going up to a whopping 78% chance of a heavy chestplate with no chance at a medium. 16 Demonite. This is a ton of Demonite. Then we need 13 mithril, and 13 eye ore. The multiplier on the calculator is 4.42, and all the stats are perfect. Everything looks proper. I am terrified to push this button. We have a 78% chance of a heavy chestplate. However, even if we miss right now, we will either get heavy legs or a heavy helmet. None of these are horrible things, though the heavy helmet was supposed to be our uranium piece, so that would be a little bit awkward, forcing me to make another piece, the uranium piece. We almost can't miss. If we get leggings, oh well. If we get a heavy chestplate, great. If it's Darkryte, awesome. If it's not Darkryte, no. Here we go. What do we have? Those are leggings? Those are Darkryte leggings. Okay, not bad. Not bad. They're Darkryte. That's a great roll. That's a great roll. It wasn't a chest plate, which means we still have to try and craft our chest. Oh, that was bad. Craft our chest plate. But it was a Darkryte roll, which is beyond perfect. I have to focus up entirely. I'm so glad it was a Darkryte roll. If that was not a Darkryte roll, I would have been so upset. This is awesome. We use a lot of materials to make this. This is not a bad roll at all. 100% masterwork. Oh, yes. Yes. Base defense of 193 versus my base defense of 146. What a difference. And the stats are perfect. 25% chance to burn the enemy. Here is the burn stat, 20% weapon damage, perfect, 50% extra damage, perfect. The downside of getting leggings is that I must use the recipe for chest. Again, it's a lot of Demonite. Here we go again, 16, 13, 13. This is really rough. This will only leave me with 13 dark Demonite, which is enough for the helmet, How lucky can we be? 16, 13, 13. 78% chance for the heavy chest plate. 78% chance for heavy chest plate. Here we go. That's big. Oh, please be Darkryte. Oh, please be Darkryte. Please. We have a 50-50 shot at Darkryte. Here we go. 1 click, 2 click, 3 click. Not Darkryte. We lost the coin flip. We lost the 50-50 roll. It is a regular chest plate. I still need to craft this again in the future. Something working towards. It is not Darkryte. It'll still be fantastic to wear. It'll still be better than what I'm currently wearing, but it is not Darkryte. Oh, the problem is if you get 2 Darkrytes in a row, like that would be such crazy odds. We do not have enough Demonite to craft another chest plate. This is why you really wanted that Demonite. Look at that base defense. It's only 144. That Darkryte roll is so critical. Look at my mithril chest plate base defense, 166 versus the base defense of 144. It's obviously a defensive downgrade. We are going to wear it because it gives us the burn damage, etc., but it's not what we wanted. Now, the more annoying thing to do, rolling for the helmet. The problem with rolling for the helmet is that it's only a 50% chance. We basically need to win the coin flip for the helmet and then the coin flip for the Darkryte. I despise rolling for helmets in this game. It is a painful endeavor, but this is where we're putting that uranium to use to get that amazing AoE. 50-50 chance. Oh, I'm nervous. Give me a Darkryte helmet. Come on. That's small. It might be leggings though. It's leggings. We got heavy leggings. Darkryte heavy leggings. That'll be weaker than my heavy leggings. That is so unfortunate. We only got one piece, one truly usable endgame piece out of 3 rolls. So unfortunate. And look at that 184 defense. These are the 3 pieces we have crafted today. We crafted the 193 Demonite legs. These are perfect. These are awesome. We're going to use these for sure. We crafted a non-Darkryte Demonite chest plate, which is technically worse than what I have, but I'm going to wear it. And then we crafted another set of Demonite leggings that we just don't need. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching my pain. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe. Become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is how to make money in the Forge in Roblox, starting with the beginner and going all the way to endgame. Starting with Sensei Moro, who is a tutorial. You cannot leave the island until you complete it, and it does give you a bunch of money. And more importantly, you want to get mining. While you're down here, make sure you go and you hit every single rock and collect every single ore that you can. It is very important to acquire as many resources as you can, especially in early games, so you can progress through the game and get out of the starting zone. I repeat, it is critical that you get out of the starting zone as fast as you can. There's no way to make great money here in the introductory area. So mine to your heart's content, get as many resources as possible, and then head back up to the Forge. As you continue to complete all the quests in the zone to unlock the ability to leave, you'll be forging weapons and armor. And while forging, I highly suggest you forge armor, and as many and as heavy of armor as you can get. For example, I could put 25 in of this piece, I could put in 11 of this piece, and once I'm able to start crafting heavy chest plates, these make a ton of money. Even heavy leggings make a lot of money. Go ahead and forge them, go through the forging minigame, and make your money. Take your time and practice with the forging minigame. The better a job you do, the more money each individual piece of armor will make. Remember, do not sell the ores. Always craft the ores to maximize your dollars. And there we go. Even with one mistake, this piece of armor will most likely be 100% masterwork and sell for a boatload of cash. This dark bonite sells for $2.8 thousand. Do all the quests in the starting zone, farm up your money, get up to $10,000, and then get out of the starting zone. Once you complete the tutorial, you'll have access to this portal, and this will allow you to teleport to World 2, and this is where all the money making is. Now you are in World 2, and this is where the real money begins. The first thing you're going to do is head on over to the left and grab your cobalt pickaxe, which will cost you 10,000 coins, and from there, we talk about quests. In this world, there are multiple quest givers. Some of them you want to avoid and many of them you want to do. You definitely want to complete the Sensei Moro quest line. There's a bunch of money in it. You also want to do the Barracool quests whenever they're available to you, and you can do them every single day. This is one of your daily quest givers, and the money is great. Speaking about quests you want to avoid, do not worry about this goblin quest until you're much later in the game. It actually will cost you 75,000 coins to complete, so I highly suggest you do this later in the game. Other quests you probably want to avoid, up the ramp here on the right hand side is this guy named Line. His quest is for a bunch of ore, and he doesn't give you any money for it, just experience, so you can avoid this one for later. Come back to the start and take the cannon to the top of the hill, and there's a bunch more quests here you can do for a lot of cash. Starting with Captain Rowan, who is a long quest line, and all of his quests give you a bunch of money, as well as over here, Isaac is looking for certain things. His quests give you money as well. The Masked Stranger over here at the cave entrance is a repeatable daily quest, giving you money. And deeper in the cave, on the right-hand side, as soon as you go up this ramp past these lava rocks, hang a right, and you will see a cave over here with Amber, who is also another repeatable quest you can do every single day for money. Speaking of which, this is one of my favorite quests to do every single day. I'm always going to do it. It's talking about killing all the people in the endgame zone, and I will do it every chance I get for bonus cash. Now let's talk about how to make more money as an intermediate to middle level player. One thing I highly suggest you do is get ready to grind mobs like crazy, because you're looking for a specific mob to drop specific drops. If you progress through this cave, you can go down to the bottom lower levels, and down at the bottom lower levels are a lot of the slightly stronger mobs in this game. However, while you're down here, kill every single enemy you see, because what you're looking for are the little bomber guys. Even if you're not finding little bomber guys, these guys drop essences, and the essences sell for a lot of cash. So even spending 10-15 minutes down here can earn you 10,000 plus coins, no problem. Never underestimate how effective a mob grind is. This guy right here is the one you're looking for. He is the bomber skeleton, and his drops include miner shards. And the miner shards you're looking for are the ones that give your pickaxe luck. This will allow you to have an even better pickaxe, get even more rare ores to make better weapons and armor for better grinding and better selling, etc. Once you pick up enough of those miner shards to suit your fancy, let's talk about other methods of making money in this game. Now you're in World 2, you have access to new rocks. You have basalt rocks and basalt cores. All of these will give you your new levels of materials that you can use to make weapons and armor, and believe me, they sell for so much more. And again, once you are full up on rocks, head on down, go to the forge, and craft heavy armor to your heart's content. At this point, you should be able to have things like amethyst and quartz and other rarer materials that can make heavy armor far more valuable. For example, I just forged this piece of armor using only rare materials, nothing epic, nothing legendary, and watch how much money it sells for. A fully rare only ore piece of heavy armor, completely perfectly crafted, masterwork 100%, will give you $2,000 every single time. This is another great intermediate way of making money in this game. But you're not here for intermediate, you're probably an advanced player. Let's talk about advanced money making tactics. Once you acquire the mithril pickaxe or the arcane pickaxe, you want to move on to even better ore. You want basalt veins, and basalt veins spawn all the time right here at the entrance to the endgame zone without fail. Every few seconds, as you can see, they continue to pop up. So this is a great spot, especially if you can find it mostly uncontested, to farm up the ingredients in the basalt veins, and this will give you access to legendary ingredients. This will give you access to eye ore, lightite, uranium, and mithril. And those legendary crafting ingredients will make you very, very valuable pieces of armor. Also endgame armor to use for yourself. And if you're curious about mid-game, late game, and endgame armor sets or weapons using those ingredients, check out the spreadsheet link in the description down below. It will guide you on how to craft them. And let me demonstrate for you, even if you're not doing it for yourself, but you're just doing it for money, how much money legendary armor can sell for. Let me just throw in a bunch of mithril, because I have a whole lot of mithril lying around, and then some uraniums. I have a lot of uranium kind of chilling here. Mithril and uranium all found from basalt veins. Hopefully we get a chest plate. Looks like we did, and we did, though it is not a Darkryte chest plate. It is a regular chest plate. It is a 1 in 2 chance. It's a 50-50 chance of getting a Darkryte chest plate. And voila, our legendary ingredient chest plate that makes a bunch of money. Masterwork 100%, sells for $5,180 a piece. Now, if that basalt vein section that has 2 basalt veins at the entrance to the endgame zone is constantly camped, there's another quiet place you can farm that should be filled with basalt veins. Head back out to the cave and once again continue inside and go up the right hand side. As you go up the ramp, instead of turning to your right, go straight all the way to the end, and here is an entrance to a little zone. Inside this zone, you're going to find endgame enemies or mid-game enemies, as well as mid-game rocks of all shapes and sizes. This is a great place to kill mobs for money. This is a great place to mine up all of these basalt cores, and every time you remove a basalt core, it has a chance to respawn as a basalt vein. So if you come in here and you don't see any veins, just mine the cores until they turn into veins. But ultimately, if you can get that one entrance that constantly has 2 basalt veins over and over, mostly to yourself, it's a great place to farm. Now we're going to talk about end game and late game money methods. Let's head down into the basement. Head on down through this area into the basement, and inside you're going to see lots of different types of ore and lots of different types of enemies. You will find basalt veins down here, but obviously it's a bit more dangerous. If you're going to do the mining method, you're keeping your eye open for lava rocks, which right now I don't see any spawned. You farm lava rocks to make end game weapons and armor. You don't do it for money making, so let's not cover that right now. The main reason we're down here is to kill. You are here to kill mobs as quickly and efficiently as you can. Currently, with late game armor and an end game weapon, I am able to grind down here, and I made a video on this. I made $170,000 in an hour of grinding. How did I do it? Yes, having a strong weapon that does a lot of damage helps, but having a weapon that heals you is critical. Opening up my equipment, you can see my weapon has 2 runes on it. It's lifesteal runes. And these lifesteal runes are healing me for 24% of the physical damage I deal. Now, how do I acquire these runes? That's a small problem. And oh, look, here he is. This is how I acquire those runes. You kill reapers, and as you can see, you get drain edge runes when you do. Is it going to be hard for you to kill reapers without good armor and good weapons and without lifesteal? Yes, it'll be a challenge. But as soon as you start killing them, you can start getting drain edge runes, which can start giving you lifesteal. Perfect lifesteal runes are 13% on the heal, giving you a maximum of 26%. Having said that, you want to acquire runes to also have a really good secondary such as lethality, because lethality increases your physical damage, but also again increases your lifesteal. So spending time in this basement killing enemies, hoping reapers spawn so you can kill them for drain edge runes is kind of critical. And grinding enemies in this zone is how you make the most money in the game, allowing you to do things like buying the best pickaxe and maxing out its runes, which cost me $900,000 to do. So hopefully this video was useful to you. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you will be able to kill reapers just like I can, and hopefully you can make a bunch of money in the Forge in Roblox. If you enjoyed this video and it was useful to you, go ahead and hit subscribe, become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Today in the Forge in Roblox, I'm going to give you an up-to-date guide on pickaxe progression in the game, from the starting pickaxe all the way to this, the demonic pickaxe. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button, become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel, and let's get into the video. As soon as you log into the game, you're not going to have anything in your inventory. Literally, you will have nothing. But don't worry, you can go over to Sensei Moro and start your quest. And while you're doing it, he will give you your very first pickaxe, as well as some rerolls. Let's hope I get something kind of good. Undead, nope, we're going to skip that one. Elf, I think we're going to reroll it one more time. Maybe we get lucky and get something like a dwarf. Actually, Goblin is solid. Goblin makes everything 12% cheaper, making your pickaxes easier to do. Now, finally, after all this time, we have our first stone pickaxe. And now our journey and pickaxe progression can begin. So while you're doing your questing, you will go through a whole bunch of different pickaxes, starting with the stone one until you reach a point in the tutorial when you're told to buy the bronze pickaxe. So for now, I'm just going to go through the tutorial. And now, as you can see, the game is telling you to buy the bronze pickaxe, and that is the next one you require. As you progress through the tutorial, you will be told to acquire the iron pickaxe, and then after that, you're left to your own devices. Your goal is to achieve $10,000 and level 10 and to finish the tutorial so that you get the teleporting ring to leave the area. After the iron pickaxe, you can go ahead and spend some money and go and acquire the gold pickaxe, but this is where we start to get into the proper progression system for all the different pickaxes. What you're going to do is skip and avoid the Platinum Max. You heard me. Do not buy the Platinum Max. It's not necessary. Get the gold pickaxe, save up to 10,000 gold, leave World 1, and we'll head off into World 2. Now, towards the end of this video, I'm going to have some advanced tips for you when it comes to working on your pickaxe progression, especially in preparation for the next zone coming out later this month. So once you are in World 2 and you have your $10,000, head over to the pickaxe shop and grab the Cobalt pickaxe for $10,000. This is probably going to be the last pickaxe you buy until you achieve enough money for the mithril pickaxe. Now, one of the things about the Cobalt pickaxe is that it has rune slots. These rune slots can help you greatly. Each pickaxe has a certain number of rune slots, and the rune slots can fit runes in them, and each of these have a different function. Most of them will give you things like luck. For example, this miner shard will give you 15% overall luck increase on your pickaxe. And before we continue talking about progression, let's talk about where to acquire these runes. I've got you covered for that. Here in World 2, head up to the cannon and go on up to the cave, and feel free to enter the cave. Now, there are a couple places you can go to mine for this rune. The first location you can go is take the central entrance and head on down this ramp, continue on until you see a left-hand turn, and head further down the ramp. Any mob down that way or over here has a chance to spawn in as this guy, the Bomber. And every time you kill the Bomber, he has a chance to drop miner runes. So what I would advise you to do is to come down here and continue to kill skeletons. This will do multiple things. It will give you experience. It will give you essences you can sell for a lot of money. And it will also spawn in bombers. When the bombers have a chance to drop miner runes. So get used to being down here. You're going to spend some time down here farming mobs over and over, looking for miner runes. You are definitely looking for luck runes. Other decent ones are yield, as well as mining power or mining speed. And I do have an advanced tip coming later in the video talking about runes and how expensive they can be and how you can save a little bit of money or a lot of money in preparation for the next expansion. As you're progressing through the game and you're making money, you're working towards your next pickaxe. Now, hopefully you have a goblin race, because if you do, it'll make the next pickaxe a lot cheaper. You're gonna have a very strong urge to buy the next best pickaxe. Do not do it. Do not do it. Skip the titanium pickaxe. Even skip the uranium pickaxe. You're gonna save all the way up to the mithril pickaxe. This beauty right here. Why? Because it unlocks a brand new ore for you to mine. Now, I do have a very quick tip when it comes to buying pickaxes cheaper. Two of them, in fact. The first of which was the goblin race we mentioned earlier, making the pickaxes 12% cheaper. This will make the mithril pickaxe in the 50,000s instead of the 60,000s. But there's another tip. If you were to unequip your pickaxe and come over here to sell it, if you only own the one pickaxe and you try to sell it, you'll have an error message that says you cannot sell your only pickaxe. Because obviously you'd love to sell your old pickaxe to buy the new one even faster. And there's a trick to do this. Take your portal and head back to World 1. Then head off to the pickaxe guy and buy the bronze pickaxe once again for $150. Once you do that, the bronze pickaxe will be in your inventory, giving you another pickaxe to keep, allowing you to sell your current pickaxe to buy your newest one faster. And once that's done, you can go ahead and resell the bronze pickaxe since you no longer need it. So you've sold your cobalt pickaxe, you have a goblin race, you've come on over and you've purchased your mithril pickaxe, skipping the uranium and skipping the titanium. Why did we beeline it to the mithril pickaxe? Let's talk about it. Come on over and take the cannon up to the top of the mountain and head inside your cave. Once you're in the cave, take the path on the right all the way up and turn immediately to your right, and notice this entrance going down into a basement. You see that dwarf mining these two basalt veins? The basalt veins can only be mined by a mithril pickaxe or better, and the basalt veins will be your introduction to legendary crafting ingredients. Yes, the legendary one. Basalt veins will give you access to to lightite, uranium, mithril, and iron. And with these, you can craft very powerful weapons and armor, as well as very powerful and expensive weapons and armor for a lot of money. Use your mithril pickaxe and feel free to semi-AFK here, mining on this spot to make a bunch of cash. And this is the perfect time to talk about luck potions, these guys right here, as well as mining potions, these purple ones right here. The mining potions make you swing faster and swing harder, allowing you to mine even quicker, and luck potions do exactly what you described. They give you a bunch of luck. This is the only spot in the entire game where basalt veins spawn over and over repeatedly, making it a fantastic farming spot, especially with private servers coming out later today. Now that you have the mithril pickaxe, we can talk about mid-game to late game to end game pickaxes. You have a decision to make. Well, in fact, you have a couple decisions to make. The next best pickaxe is actually a very powerful pickaxe. It is the Arcane pickaxe, and it's located in World 1. Let's talk about it. To unlock access to the Arcane pickaxe requires a quest that is pretty quick and easy to complete. This guy right here is the bard, and when you see him, he won't have his guitar. His quest requires you to bring him his missing guitar, and he will give you a key. To find the guitar, enter the cave and drop down until you see your quest givers. You've been down here before. Hang a left and notice the plant sticking out of the wall. That's mysterious. Walk into the wall and wiggle around until you drop down into this cave. The guitar will be right here on this ledge. Bring the guitar back to the bard, and the bard will give you a key. Once you have the key, come back into the cave, and this time take the right path all the way to the end. Past this doorway, around this corner, and you will see a gate here, a portcullis. Tap the lock, and it will open, allowing you to buy your next pickaxe, the Arcane pickaxe, for $125,000. Again, the goblin race will come in handy here, making this about $110,000, and selling your old pickaxe by buying the bronze pickaxe will also make this faster and much easier to acquire. Now we have to start talking about important decisions to make in the forge in Roblox. The Arcane pickaxe is a fantastic pickaxe. You can use this all the way in endgame, and it only costs about $30,000 every time you want to put a rune in or take a rune out of it. Now, having said that, it is technically not the best pickaxe in the game. This one is the demonic pickaxe. How do we acquire that? How much money is it? This is a problem. Listen to me carefully. I suggest you skip acquiring the demonic pickaxe. With World 3 set to release later this month, you're going to make better use of the hundreds of thousands of dollars you're going to lose buying this thing, saving it for whatever pickaxe is in the next zone. Having said that, let me show you where and how to acquire the Demonite pickaxe, how much money it's going to cost, and you can decide whether it's worth it to you or not. I am filled with regret. And as for the advanced tip I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still going to mention it. Let's head deep into the caves and go and take a look at where to find and how to acquire the demonic pickaxe. Go to your mining spot and head down into the basement. You can wait for them to kill these rocks, or you can try and sprint and teleport down. Once you're in the basement, you're going all the way to the back corner. Hang a left, follow the left wall until you see this hole in the wall right here. Go down the long path, and there's a quest giver. This quest giver has the key you need, but he wants 3 Demonite ore. Demonite ore looks like this, blood red crystal. You've acquired Demonite ore only from these volcanic rocks right here, and they're very rare to acquire, a 1 in 3,000 chance. Obviously, luck will increase his odds. As you're mining the volcanic rocks, keep your eye open for Demonite ore. Once you have your 3 Demonite ore, come and talk to him. He will reward you with the key. Now that you have the key, come back out and take a look at this door here in the back left corner. It'll be closed. You tap it with the key and the door will open. For me, the door didn't open. I had to log back out and log back in. But after doing that, it worked. And at the end of this hallway, as you can see, is your demonic pickaxe. And it's going to cost you $500,000. Not only is it going to cost you $500,000 for a pickaxe that's only a little bit better than the Arcane pickaxe, it also costs you $150,000 every time you put in or take out a rune. And just like the Arcane pickaxe, it has 3 rune slots. So not only will it cost you $500,000 to acquire, it will also cost you $450,000 to put runes in it, coming out to a total of $950,000. If you feel that is worth it to you, feel free. It is technically the best pickaxe in the game, technically. But is it $900,000 better than the Arcane pickaxe? No, I don't think so. So my advice is to acquire the Arcane Pickaxe, save your money for World 3 that's coming out later this month, and buy whatever pickaxe is going to be in World 3, saving you so much money. And that is the complete progression guide, but there is one more thing. I did give you a promise of a little tip, and let's talk about that. Right now, in my demonic pickaxe, I have 3 runes. 1, 2, 3. They're all perfect runes. I have a luck rune, and a yield rune. And the luck rune is 16%, this luck rune is 16%, and this yield rune is 10%. If I wanted to take those runes out of the demonic pickaxe and put them into whatever pickaxe is in World 3, it would cost me $450,000 to remove them, and then money once again to add them into the next pickaxe. Ultimately, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take the runes out of this pickaxe because I can get more runes. In my inventory, I've been grinding on the little goblin guys, and I managed to grab some more runes, and some of those runes are luck runes. 15% is only 1% worse than perfect. I have one 15% rune. I have a yield, a second 15% rune, and I also have a third 15% rune. So what I personally am going to do is I am not going to remove the runes out of my demonic pickaxe. I'm going to save myself $450,000, and I'm just going to buy the new pickaxe and put brand new runes in it. Taking out the runes for that much money is just not worth it to me, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was valuable to you. If it was, go ahead and hit subscribe. Become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel, and as always guys, thank you very much for watching. Is the Demonite pickaxe better, or is the Arcane pickaxe better? I've been dying to know the answer to this for quite some time now, and I finally farmed up enough materials to solve the question once and for all. What we're going to do is we are going to get both pickaxes. We are going to hit rocks. We are going to time it and see which pickaxe is actually better than the other. The demon spins slower, but the Arcane does less damage. And luckily for this test, I managed to acquire all the materials I'm going to need, including the 3 pieces of Demonite. Let's head on into the cave, turn on our lantern, and get ready to get to work. To unlock the demon pickaxe legally, we have to... What in the world is this guy doing? This is not what I expected to see today in the forge. Is he swapping between his sword and his pickaxe over and over? Anyways, now that I have the Demonite that I need, let's head on over to the quest giver and finish this quest. Luckily for me, I have enough money and enough materials to pull this off. And in all honesty, it's not that hard to get back up to $1 million in this game. So in case you didn't know where the quest giver is, come into the lava zone, head to the back left corner, and there's a whole new tunnel you can go down. And then at the end of the tunnel is our lovely quest giver. And his name is Skull. Let's see what Skull has to say. I smelled your footsteps long before you arrived. What brings you into my domain, mortal? Just passing through, just doing my thing. Power, you say? Then you're after this. The demonic key, aren't you? Oh yeah. A demonic key, is that what your little heart seeks? If you want me to summon one, I'll need 3 Demonite. No more, no less. All right, I'll do it. Okay, this is gonna be quite interesting. So do I just walk up with the Demonite, or what do I do? I'm just gonna talk to him again. There's a quest portion that says I have the Demonite. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we made a trade. Yes, these will do perfectly. Stand back. Summoning a demonic key isn't exactly safe work. Hold your breath. And there, one freshly summoned demonic key. Try not to get yourself killed. What? Why would I die? Thanks. I appreciate you, Skull. And trust me, mortal, I hope we never meet again. See, I thought I'd have to take the Demonite and put him on the 3 pedestals. That made the most sense. Well, now that I have my demonic key, let's head on over to the door and see if we can open it. Oh, there it goes. Opening the door. Is it gonna slide away? Is it just gonna disappear? Hello? Demon door? You're still there. I don't know what's going on. I worked really hard to hand in 3 Demonite that I could have used for a weapon to open this door, and it didn't open. Let me just go check over here. No, it's not this entrance. I'm feeling scammed. I'm about to go and just re-log into a new game, and hopefully that will solve this problem. Make me climb all the way there again. That door is... Oh, nope, the door is gone. And there, in the distance, lies the demonic pickaxe. Oh, I need to be a goblin. Luckily, I have some free rerolls lying around. Thank you to all the codes. Come on, goblin. Give me the lovely goblin race. For a 10% chance to acquire, this will be the one time when I need the goblin race. I'm never gonna get it. I'm gonna go through all 30 rerolls and not get my goblin. Watch me roll either demon or angel while trying to do this. There we go, the goblin. I had to roll off of the dragonborn, but we're here. $500,000 pickaxe. I'd love to buy it for $440,000 instead. Thank you, goblin race. We have the massive demonic pickaxe, and oh, it looks so good. Now, to run this test, I'm gonna time how long it takes to destroy either of these rocks. As you can see on the regular arcane pickaxe, I have luck shards, there is no swing speed, and no damage boost. I also have no mining potion active. To do this test, I will simultaneously have my stopwatch app on my phone go off, and I'll also do it in the editing software just to see how fast we can go. Let's start with the pickaxe. I'm gonna take it all the way down to 0. 3, 2, 1, go. I like how I got Demonite doing that. So I got 36 seconds and 67 milliseconds on my phone. Now we're going to switch to the faster swinging but less damage arcane pickaxe. In 3, 2, 1, go. And time. I got 48 seconds on my phone. That is a 12-second difference. Even though the Demonite pickaxe swings 10% slower, the damage difference is insane. Now, having said that, there is one massive problem that I'm about to experience here in the Forge in Roblox, and that's putting runes into the Demonite pickaxe. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg. First things first, I have to take the runes out of the arcane pickaxe because some of them are perfect. This is a perfect luck rune. The second one is a perfect yield rune. And the third one is a perfect luck rune. Oh, it hurts me so much. It's going to cost me $100,000 to rip the runes out of this pickaxe. If they weren't perfect, I wouldn't keep them. But luckily, now I can go and sell this pickaxe. Say goodbye. Though, it looks like selling the pickaxe gives me the money back that I spent for taking the runes out. $93,750 deal. Now I need to make the most important decision ever. Which runes to put into this pickaxe? There's actually some legitimate choices. There's something you need to consider when picking runes for this pickaxe. In the future, there's a really good chance that we're gonna get private servers. You heard me, private servers. On a private server, you'll be able to mine to your heart's content, and there won't be anyone stealing your rocks for you. So there will be a scenario where you can go between 3 or even 4 or 5 rocks in peace and quiet. As such, things like mining power or mining speed, allowing you to go through rocks quicker, will be more advantageous. But having said that, until I get that confirmation, I'm simply going to use luck runes. I would like to craft some runes, please, and let me go to my pickaxe. And luckily, pun intended, I do have some perfect luck runes. 16% is the highest you can go. Let me throw that in there for $150,000. Yes, perfect luck rune number 1, perfect luck rune number 2. Now, I have a couple choices to make. I have 15% luck runes, multiples of them, which are 1% off of perfect. Or I have this perfect yield rune. Personally, I believe that having the extra yield will get you more ores in the long run. I think because of the angel, the potions, and all the other luck you already have, having a chance at additional ore gives that additional ore its own chance to become demonic, etc. Because while we have lots of abilities to increase our luck in this game, we've got next to no ability to increase our yield. And it's a perfect yield rune, so for $150,000, I'm going to attach it. I started the day at $1.1 million, and now we are down to $200,000. Oh man. In the end, the arcane pickaxe is inferior to this thing, the demonic pickaxe, in every single way. It mines faster, and it even has a little bit more luck. And if you want to wait until the next update, which should come out around the 25th of December, to acquire an even better pickaxe, I wouldn't blame you, because I did blow through nearly 900,000 gold to get this thing built out. So if I were you, I might wait as well. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was valuable to you. If it was, go ahead and hit subscribe as a thank you and become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel. And as always, thank you. very much for watching. There is a brand new meta in the Forge when it comes to mining, and the fastest way to get Demonite and Darkryte has changed, and I'm here to tell you all about it. Starting off, most of this information will be useful to you if you are on a private server. If you are not on a private server, then going around with the usual way of doing things is perfectly fine. But if you want maximum efficiency, and we're talking about the best way of acquiring Darkryte and Demonite in this game, you definitely want a private server, and then this new information is probably going to shock you. Before we get into that, I need to come over here and grab all of my luck potions. Obviously, we're going to need maximum luck for this. Now, I used the words maximum luck for this, and back in the day, that meant stacking as much luck as humanly possible to mine as efficiently impossible, but that is not necessarily the way to do things anymore. I mean, you still can, but it's not the fastest or the most efficient. Let's head on down to the basement and we will talk about this. Now, here in the basement, regardless of what method you're about to use, including the new method we're about to talk about, the main thing you want to do is try and navigate and organize and herd, basically, as many volcanic rocks into one area as possible. What I do when I log into my private server is I take a quick look around and I see how the rocks are stacking up. And honestly, this loadout here is not that impressive to me. I do see some volcanic rocks and some that are side by side, but there are some important locations that I want to keep an eye on. If I see 2 or 3 rocks stacked here, this is a great place. Seeing these 2 rocks here is also kind of nice. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're on a decent server, and this one doesn't speak to me, so I'm going to reset quick. And honestly, it doesn't take long to reset at all. The method we're going to talk about in this video definitely works only if you have a private server, because you're going to need lots of volcanic rocks to work through. If you're on a public server, you probably want to stick with the luck method. Now, this is what I want to see. I want to see multiple sections where rocks are stacking up. Now, I know volcanic rocks can stack here, volcanic rocks can stack here. This is more interesting. Look over here, multiple volcanic rocks can stack here. We're cooking with gas. Phase 1 of this process, you want to clear away all the non-volcanic rocks. To do this, we need to drink miner potions, obviously, and luck potions as well. And more importantly, and most importantly, something that many people aren't really focusing on or doing, we're going to switch to the dwarf. You're going to learn by the end of this video, and I mean looking at the math, that the dwarf is far, far better at getting you more Darkryte and Demonite per hour than the angel. And you're going to be saying to me right now, as you see, like, you're going to be commenting down below, Kro, that's impossible. The angel gives you 30% luck. I thought luck was key. Why is the dwarf better? Well, that's what this video is here to demonstrate for you, is to tell you about the new meta that everybody is talking about on the official Forge Discord server. So phase 1, clear away all the rocks that are not volcanic rocks. This is a private server. No one's going to bother you, and find as many places as possible where you can hit as many rocks as possible. Clearing out all these basalt cores is really critical. They're destroyed really quickly as a dwarf, between 3 and 4 swings depending on your loadout, and every time you destroy a rock, you give the opportunity for another rock to spawn elsewhere. Yes, this is pretty critical. Other rocks won't spawn unless you are destroying rocks. And much like a sheepdog herding sheep, you are going to be putting as many rocks into one specific area as possible. Again, if you're on a public server, this is not important to you. If you're on a private server, this is quite critical. And here's a perfect example. I cleared away those rocks and they both popped up as volcanic, giving me a 2-for-1 right here in the spot. This is exactly what we're looking for, things like this. Ooh, another opportunity for a 2-for-1. Let me clear this basalt core out of the way, and hopefully a volcanic rock spawns here. This is another area of the map where you can have lots of these rocks stacked really tight together. Once I'm done gathering as many volcanic rocks in an area as I like, I'm going to talk to you about your loadout. What race you? Obviously dwarf. Why the dwarf? And also, why not using maximum luck runes on your pickaxe? You heard me. Not using maximum luck runes. I have something to show you. Oh, is this a 2-for-1 right here? Oh, it is a 2-for-1. Hey, another one. Now, if I was more patient, I would set this up even better. But for now, I have 2 2-for-1s and then a 5th rock nearby. I want at least 5 rocks. So after a very short period of time, here I have a pair of 2-for-1s. I can smack this group right here in the middle, and I can smack this group right here very carefully in the middle. And I even have a 5th one located right here. Now, my setup is not perfect. I don't have the exact right runes in my pickaxe to pull this off. I'm still using luck runes. Yes, you heard me. I don't want to be using luck runes. Let me quickly demonstrate for you what you would do, and then we will talk about the loadout ideally and why we're doing it this way. So first and foremost, with the dwarf, even with this dude beating on me, I can get these stones down to the appropriate level very quickly. From there, I can come over and do the same for these ones over here, bringing these down in no time flat, looking at them, don't see anything I want, and then I can come to this 5th one with no issue. And this is without an ideal loadout. From here, as you can see, I'm almost done this one. Those first two should pop up immediately. Nothing in there that I need. I come to this one and boom, they pop up. Look at that. I'm able to hit 5 rocks quickly, efficiently, and swiftly. Now to start, this wouldn't be possible if I was an angel. I would not get these rocks destroyed fast enough to take advantage of this. And this could be even better with even more rocks if I had a better loadout. What we've learned is that the dwarf is strictly better in terms of acquiring more ores per hour than the angel. And why is this? Because luck is additive, not multiplicative. What I basically mean by that is luck is added together and not multiplied by each other. If you have the Arcane pickaxe or the Demonite pickaxe, your pickaxe is going to give you 50% off the hop. Then the supporter battle pass can give you 10% luck on its own. And then after that, you can get another 40% luck from the dedicated player achievement by playing the game for 100 hours. This means before you even equip the angel, you're at 100% additional luck. And what happens when you add that 30% from the angel onto that 100% base? Well, that 30% is actually more like a 15% increase, because adding 30% to the base 100 is nowhere near as effective as adding 30% to a base of 0. And people have already done the math. This is not with the dwarf race. This is with what looks like the angel race. Using power runes and speed runes, they were able to see 355 crystals. Using luck runes, they were only able to see 227 crystals in an hour, and using an arcane pickaxe, they were only able to see 172 crystal checks in an hour. So because luck has diminishing returns the more luck you have, there comes a point where if you have more power and more speed, you're able to see more ore and have more chances at Demonite and Darkryte per hour. So switching to the dwarf and using mining power and mining speed in your pickaxe is massively critical. Now, the people in the Discord server are suggesting that the dwarf is the best race because the angel perk does have diminishing returns. If you have an arcane pickaxe, they are suggesting 3 power runes. If you have the demonic pickaxe, because it swings slower, they're suggesting 1 swift mining rune and 2 power runes. Unless you're a dwarf, then they're suggesting 2 speed runes because you already hit pretty hard and 1 power rune. Now, personally, I don't think I'm going to follow through with the rune changes because I do not want to fork over hundreds of thousands of dollars just to pull out my runes and put in new ones. But when it comes to the next world, if you have a private server, it might be important to hold on to your runes, farm up some speed runes, farm up some power runes, so you're ready to use your private server to the most advantage. So let's summarize. If you're in a public server, you're probably best off using an angel, using your luck runes, and using whatever luck you can to maximize your returns on an individual volcanic rock. Because in a public server, you're not going to be able to boost and group a bunch of volcanic rocks together to do what I do here. But on a private server, when you can herd your volcanic rocks into a tight space, the advantages of power and speed to open these up faster, to see more ores per hour, to give you more chances per hour is basically like increasing your luck. If you can't increase your luck for each individual ore, perhaps it's best to just see more ore per hour. And hopefully this video was useful to you guys. If it was, go ahead and hit subscribe, become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.